Hello and welcome to Kuma English Listening Hub. Today's topic is about a place many people know but few people think about in a new way, the community library. When you hear the word library, you might imagine quiet rooms, long shelves, and people reading books. That is still true, but in many towns and cities, libraries are changing. They are becoming places where you can borrow much more than books. In this episode, you will learn about modern library services like tool lending, seed libraries, language clubs, and creative spaces. You will also hear why these changes matter for everyday life. Let's begin with a simple question. Why would a library change at all? One reason is that people's needs have changed. Many people now read on phones, tablets, or e-readers. Some people buy books online. So libraries cannot only be about lending paper books. They need to stay useful in new ways. Another reason is money. Many families want to save money. They do not want to buy something they will only use 1 or 2 times. For example, think about a power drill. You might need it for one weekend to fix a shelf, and then you might not use it again for a year. Borrowing makes sense. Libraries already have a system for borrowing and returning items, so they are a natural place to offer shared resources. Now, let's talk about tool lending libraries. A tool lending library is a service where you can borrow tools like hammers, drills, screwdrivers, measuring tape, and sometimes even bigger items like ladders. The rules are usually similar to borrowing books. You need a library card. You check the tool out for a certain number of days. Then you return it in good condition. Some libraries also offer safety information. They may show simple guides, videos, or short lessons about how to use tools correctly. This is important because tools can be dangerous when used in the wrong way. Tool lending can help people repair their homes, build small projects, and feel more independent. It can also reduce waste because fewer people need to buy new tools that will sit in a closet. Here is a small example. Imagine a person named Luis. Luis wants to hang new curtains. He needs a drill and a level. Buying both is expensive for him right now. He goes to the library, borrows them, finishes the job, and returns them. He saves money, and he learns a new skill. For many people, this kind of service is not only helpful, it can be empowering. Next, let's explore something that sounds surprising. Seed libraries. A seed library is a place where you can take seeds for planting, like tomato seeds, bean seeds, or flower seeds. The idea is simple. You borrow seeds, you grow plants, and later you can bring back new seeds from the plants you grew. It is like sharing and continuing the cycle. Not every seed library works the same way. Some libraries ask you to return seeds, but others say it is optional. They understand that gardening can be difficult. Sometimes plants do not grow well, or people move, or they do not have enough time. Seed libraries encourage local gardening. They can help people grow food at home, even in small spaces like balconies. They can also teach children where food comes from. A child who grows a tomato plant will never look at tomatoes in the same way again. Seed libraries can also support local nature. If people grow plants that fit the local climate, it can be better for the environment. Local plants often need less water and fewer chemicals. Some libraries even work with community gardens. They organize planting days, share compost tips, and teach basic gardening skills. Now let's move from things you can hold in your hands to skills you can build. Many libraries are becoming learning centers. Of course, libraries have always supported learning, but now they often offer free classes or small group activities. For example, some libraries offer language conversation clubs. These are meetings where people practice speaking English or other languages in a friendly way. Usually, there is a topic for the day, like food, travel, work, or hobbies. People take turns speaking. Everyone listens and asks questions. This is great for people who are learning a language because they can practice without feeling too much pressure. It is also good for making friends, especially for newcomers to a city. Libraries may also offer digital skills training. Some adults did not grow up with computers. Others know how to use a smartphone but feel confused by online forms, email, or job websites. Libraries often help with this. They might teach how to create a strong password, how to avoid online scams, or how to use video calls. They may also help people print documents, scan papers, or apply for services online. In today's world, these skills are not just convenient, they are necessary. Another modern library idea is the library of things. This means you can borrow many different items, depending on the library. Some libraries lend board games. Others lend musical instruments like a guitar or a keyboard. Some lend sports equipment like badminton sets. In some places, you can even borrow a small projector for movie night or a sewing machine for a home project. The goal is to make hobbies and activities more accessible. If you want to try a new hobby, borrowing is a low-risk way to start. You don't need to spend a lot of money before you know if you really like it. Let's imagine another example. A teenager named Hannah wants to learn the guitar. Her family cannot buy one right now. She borrows a guitar from the library for 2 weeks. She watches beginner lessons online and practices every day. After 2 weeks, she knows if she wants to continue. Maybe she borrows it again. Maybe she decides to try a different instrument. In this way, the library becomes a place where dreams feel possible. Many libraries also have creative spaces. You might hear the term makerspace. A makerspace is an area where people can create, build, and experiment. Not all libraries have this, but it is becoming more common. A makerspace might include simple craft tools, art supplies, or computers for design. Some libraries have 3D printers which can print small plastic objects. People can design a keychain, a small model, or a useful part for a project. Libraries usually offer rules and support so people can use the equipment safely and fairly. Even when a library does not have expensive machines, it might still offer creative programs like drawing lessons, writing workshops, or photo editing practice. Now, let's talk about one service that can change someone's life: job and career support. Some libraries help people write a resume, prepare for interviews, or search for jobs. They may offer quiet rooms for online interviews, which is helpful if someone does not have a private space at home. They can also guide people to training programs, local job fairs, or career advice resources. Libraries do not replace career centers, but they can be a strong first step for someone who feels lost. You may wonder, who pays for all of this? Libraries are often supported by local government, community funding, and sometimes donations or partnerships. For example, a local hardware store might donate tools. A gardening group might donate seeds. Volunteers might lead conversation clubs. Libraries often work with schools, community centers, and local businesses. When the community helps the library can help the community even more. Of course, these changes also bring challenges. Tools can break, seeds can be old, equipment can be expensive. Libraries must create clear rules, check items carefully, and decide what they can realistically offer. They also need enough staff time. Running new programs takes planning. Another challenge is space. Libraries are not unlimited. If they add new services, they must still keep areas for reading and studying. Even with these challenges, many people believe the changes are worth it. Why? Because libraries are one of the few public places where you can stay without being expected to buy something. You can come in, sit down, read, study, use the internet, and join programs. In a world where many spaces are connected to shopping, this is special. Libraries can reduce loneliness, support learning, and make daily life easier. They are not only about information, they are about community. So, how can you use your local library in a modern way? Here are a few simple steps. First, check the library website or ask at the front desk. Many people do not know what their library offers. Second, think about what you need right now. Do you want to fix something at home? Try asking about tool lending. Do you want to grow herbs or vegetables? Ask about seeds. Do you want to practice English? Ask about conversation groups. Third, try one program. Even if you feel shy, remember that many people come to the library to learn. It is normal to be a beginner. Before we finish, let's review what we learned today. We talked about how libraries are changing to meet modern needs. We discussed tool lending, seed libraries, language clubs, digital skills support, libraries of things, makerspaces, and job help. All of these services have one big idea: sharing resources and creating opportunities. Here is a final question for you to think about. If your library could add one new service, what would you choose and why? Would it be more tools, more language clubs, cooking equipment, or something totally different? Thank you for listening to Kuma English Listening Hub. If you enjoyed this episode, listen again and try to notice useful phrases. You can also pause and repeat sentences to practice pronunciation. See you next time.